Welcome, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining. And I am here to talk about Mandalorian Episode 7, The Spies, the penultimate episode. But I can't do that without these group of people right here. My man, Phenom 202, what's going on, brother?
Phenom 202 D-Day representative. Yo, thanks for inviting me on, Corey. You know what I mean? I got a lot to talk about in this episode, man. So let's
All
get
right.
it, yo.
All right. And last but not least, as always, the lovely Qola. What's going on, Qola?
Hey, Qola bringing that big auntie energy, the resident bae. I feel like I need titles since Phenom always has these other these other things. DODTO 202. I don't know what you say, but
Phenom
you know.
202 DVA representative, yo.
See.
DVA is the crew. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple representatives, but it's all good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I
a
need
little side
asterisks
note.
in a title.
I mean, you got that right there, Big Auntie Energy Bay. I mean, I think just roll with that. I mean, that's good. Start putting that on a t-shirt or something.
Right.
But like I said, this is Mandalorian episode 7 and penultimate episode. The episode is called entitled Spies. So we're definitely going to get everybody's thoughts on it. A lot happened in this episode. That definitely had me on edge. If you want to see that, go check out that reaction of me actually reacting live to it. But anyway, we'll go around the horn. And I want to start, man, Phenom, man. What is your overall thoughts of this episode?
I really thought this episode was by far the most aesthetically pleasing. Like the visuals.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one part I was like blown away. I was like, really like, this is amazing. When all the Mandalorian was using their jetpack.
Oh, yes. When they was in that the forge area underneath.
That was beautiful, yo.
Yeah, that was tight.
They was like, everybody was like under attack and they were just using their jetpacks. Oh man.
Yeah.
That shit was tight.
That was dope. That was dope. I'm not gonna lie, it was really cool to see how they used their jetpacks. Qola, what about you? What are your thoughts on this episode?
I enjoyed it. It was pretty good.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's it. Hey, when it's good, it's good. When it's good, it's good. I'm just going to go ahead. I really enjoyed the episode. I'm like Phoenix. I love that they really brought the Mandalorians in this one. I mean, you really get to see the Mandalorians. And look, they brought my man Moff Gideon back. I mean, what fuck is better than that to bring my man Moff Gideon back? I mean, he's just good. I can't say his whole name, so I don't want to F it up, but Moff Gideon is back. So the episode starts off. We know that one particular spy that's been through the whole shebang. So she's at Coruscant, and eventually she winds up dispatching out to Moff Gideon to let him know that things kind of went south because of these Mandalorians. And he's saying, which Mandalorian? Of course, she names the one, and he's like, I'll take care of it. Then eventually see Moff Gideon meeting up with the Shadow Council, which is basically like remnants of the Empire, kind of toiling with ways to get their power back now that the whole empire has been shattered away. Moff Gideon throws out a line like, look, we need some new power. We need some new management. I'm here to take the whole joint over. And that's kind of where, well, it doesn't end there. Then it ends with them saying like, look, I need some backup. I need some troops. I need some infantry to help protect me because I got to deal with some Mandalorians. And they get kind of spooked, saying like, yo, if we have the Mandalorians routing together, this could be bad for the Empire. And that's kind of where it ends. So this is a kind of a cold open. But either way, I'm going to go around the horn. Phoenix, what was your whole thoughts of this whole beginning with Moff Gideon coming back and talking to the Shadow Council?
Aesthetically pleasing again. When he was walking to the Shadow Council and he had all the stormtroopers on the side. Oh, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful to watch. Giancarlo Esposito at his best, man.
That's his name. Yes.
Giancarlo Esposito. The thing about it is, he did it in a slick way, yo. He was like, yo, you keep talking about your mans, where your man's at?
Yes.
He ain't never here. You keep inviting him, he ain't never here. So now it's time for some new blood. And they love what he said because they were like, we're gonna rally behind you. They had no choice but to do that.
Yeah, facts. The person you're referring to is Grand Admiral Thrawn. So I don't know if you guys have been watching, but I love how they're tying in other Star Wars episodes, but you don't have to know so much about those episodes to know that something big is coming down the line. So Grand Admiral Thrawn was a huge villain and adversary in Star Wars Rebels. So they're bringing him back, and they teased him to be in the Ahsoka series. So they're already kind of tying him up, and I'm very curious on how things are going to lay out. Qola, what about you in this cold open, Moff Gideon coming back, the Shadow Council, the aesthetically pleasing looks? How did you feel about all this?
It gave me a lot of Nazi vibes when we walked in there. I like the uniforms are Nazi, the way that they like carry themselves for Nazi, and
the colors too.
The colors, right? Everything. Right. The part that kind of tripped me out though is like this is when you're seeing how much of a mastermind this guy is, because a lot of what's going on is by his design. The Mandalorians kind of having this negative role or whatever from everything or whatever is because of him. The fact that they don't have the doctor's formula or whatever is because of him. Technically I think he has it because he's like, okay, it's lost for now, like because he has it in his back pocket somewhere.
That's so true. Right, I believe that. Because they were saying you got this scientist and nothing has turned up about this, and he's like, oh yes, things aren't going quite well. I think he know damn well where that formula is, and that's just in his back pocket. That's his wild card. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, remember, this is the doctor that got zapped by his spy. And she's in there throwing a monkey wrench and everything, so I know she has everything already, just for him. But yeah, just to see how like he's sitting here playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers, and he's just like, I don't understand how you guys don't know.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So
the thing is, even with the spy, I mean, like, I'm ready for her to go. I'm ready for her to go, man. I mean, like, she's really, really throwing a monkey wrench into everything. Like, so, like, the reinstitution or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Back. I mean, she's going to foil that program because nobody's going to believe in that program anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't want to say it's the rehabilitation, but that's what they're calling it. And she's poking holes in everything. And she's like Batman. She's fucking everywhere. Like every time she turn around, she's everywhere in this meeting, in this meeting. I mean, she's doing but see, that's the mastermind of Moff Gideon, because she's working for Moff Gideon, and Moff Gideon is planting those seeds to start putting cracks in the walls of this new republic. And it's working. Because they complained that when the Empire was running things, the trains ran on time. They don't run on time with the New Republic. So, that was like this joke going around like, yeah, the trains ran on time with the Empire, even though they was ruling shit. At least the trains ran on time. But anyway,
communism, authoritarianism.
But it's good though. I loved it. It's so much like just Hitler. And it's really interesting that to see how they're all spread out, but they're all still working to gain the power back. And this is remnants of what we will see in the not the Phantom Menace, but the Force Awakens, the First Order. So this is kind of like the remnants of what will soon be the First Order, because they won't call themselves the Empire anymore. They'll call themselves the First Order. So now we're back. The Mandalorians. Bo-Katan. I just love some Bo-Katan, man. She's awesome. So Bo-Katan is back. She's got all these Mandalorians, and she's finally meeting up with the armor and that group of folks, and they're not really feeling each other, but they do realize that they have a common enemy, and it's about taking back over Mandalore. They, got the little gripes, but everybody eventually decides that they got to rally together, and it just so happens that all the main characters decide to go on this trip, even the armorer, which I ain't going to front. When she decided to go, I was like, that's a little... I don't know why is she going. She don't even carry a gun. But anyway,
the axe or the whatever she has, the hammer.
Yeah,
the axe.
She be getting busy. So this is my question to you guys, and I'm bringing this up a little early. It's called Spies. So we already know who the one spy is, which one we saw earlier. Who do you think could possibly be the other spy or spies, if there were any? The other spies. My theory is that it's somebody in the Mandalorian camp. There's a Mandalorian in that camp that as a spy as well, because Moff Gideon was like literally 2 steps ahead of them the whole time. That's my theory. Any ideas on who
I was wondering that too, because spies means multiple.
Yeah, it's plural.
We've only seen one.
We've only seen one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the guy that was fighting on the ship.
I think it's the one that doesn't wear the helmet.
Talking about the black guy that showed up?
No.
Oh,
the white guy that got in a fight with
with
the big
Paz Vizsla. Yeah, the big guy.
Sure, I call him Juggernaut. You know,
that's going to be the name. Okay, that's his name on the show. So right. the Juggernaut, the one that got in a fight with the Juggernaut. Okay, yeah, you know what? That could be him. Because wasn't he the one that left out of that shoot when he said, "I'll when the Juggernaut was like, hold up, I'll give you cover." And there was a Mandalorian that went up in the hole and said, "I'll be back for something."
I don't even know who it was.
You know, yeah, you can't tell because they wear the helmets all the time.
All
you know,
the
like
time,
with the And that was the other thing I was always trying to figure out. Like, how do you know who's who? You know, especially like with these little ones. How do you know who your daddy is? You don't know. You can go up to anybody.
True that.
I will say it will be the color of the armor, but a lot of them had the same color armor.
It had the same color armor.
Yeah.
And it's just as like tattered and ragged. You know, they all sound alike, like they're going through the drive-through of a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a cookout. Oh man, everybody sound like cookout.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know it, there's this restaurant down here in Virginia called the Cookout, and everybody sounds horrible over the loudspeaker. It's terrible.
Yeah, but the food good.
Oh, the food is hella good, but that's about it though. Prices are good too.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys thinking? So you're saying that you're thinking it's that guy that could possibly be the spy because they all got together and rallied to get there, and then all of a sudden this big monster comes out and smashes the ship, and all the Mandalorian have to scatter. Some die, some don't make it, and then they have to go down this tunnel before the action really happens. We'll get to that in a second. So I'm thinking it was one of those 3 guys that showed up in the boat. That's who I'm thinking it could be.
I didn't think so, only because they felt bad for what they did to Bo-Katan or whatever.
Bo-Katan. Okay.
Because they were like they pledged the loyalty to her. I think because she gave the story of she gave up the Darksaber because she wanted to spare her people.
Right.
So I think they were part of like them saying they let her down, so they pledged allegiance to her. But my biggest thing is, what was the monster that came out there? Was that the thing that
the Mythosaur?
The Mythosaur. Was that a Mythosaur?
I do not think it was. No, that was some other big creature.
Yeah, right. I mean, I can't never tell what the difference is. I mean,
yeah, it was not.
Because I'm trying to figure out because the Mythosaur lives on the island,
right? But it was in the water. It was in the water.
Yeah. We were talking about this last time. Like, how is she going to ride the Mythosaur if it lives in the water? Like.
Well, I mean, maybe it's like a water dragon or something. It comes out whenever it wants to. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It could.
They could do whatever they want.
The name of it. I'm trying to find the name of it.
Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't a Mythosaur, but I don't know what it was. Qola, what are your whole thoughts about all of this with the Mandalorians coming together, them kind of having beef, but them sort of realizing that they have to rally together? And then these new Mandalorian, they get to Mandalore, they find these new Mandalorians. I mean, just your whole thoughts about all of that. Like, what did you enjoy about any of those scenes? Is there anything in particular you want to talk about?
I thought the friction between the two was interesting when they showed the fiction. Like they got into a fight over chess.
Over chess,
or whatever their version of chess was, and I'm just over here like, seriously?
Yeah.
But what I didn't understand was why Grogu was there, and like, and he's the one to break everything up, like, no. That was the other thing. Why is he in that machine? Like, what was the purpose of this machine? He was getting around with a little easy ride and a little hoverboard, and then now you're going to give him this broke up machine that says no and yes.
That's true. It's a modified version of IG-11, which was in episode 1. You know what I kept thinking, and I hope y'all may know. I kept thinking of Krang when he was in there from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if you know what Krang is, but Krang is this brain that sits in this android in this stomach, and you see his face, and then everything else is robotic. And that's what I thought of every time I saw it. I mean, I thought it was cute though, but you make a good point. if he was getting around so good in his hoverboard, why is he in IG-11? I don't know. I don't know. I guess they needed to find a way to bring IG-11 back in some way.
That was the thing. It's like, does he have like I don't know, like lasers or something coming out of his eyes? Like,
they got weapons because they tried to kill him last episode. Remember when they brought him back to life and he was
for a hot
crazy?
second.
For a hot second, yeah.
But he didn't.
Yeah. Goku had no relevance in this episode. I mean, only reason because he was the only person that can stop. I think other Mandalorians can't stop other Mandalorians from fighting.
True.
Yeah.
So he was the only person.
That's what she said. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess that was the reason for him to be there. But
he could have done it in the hoverboard.
True. True. So let's tap on that a little bit. A lot of people have been having concerns and issues this year. The ratings have been down a little bit. A lot of people have been saying that they're realizing that the focus this year is not as much on Grogu and Mando, that it seems to be more on Bo-Katan. And what are you guys' feelings about that? Are you feeling like you wish there was more on Grogu and Din Djarin, and you're not liking this switch to it being Bo-Katan? Or what are you guys' thoughts on that with them not being the focus as much this season? Phoenix. Go ahead, Qola. Go ahead, Qola.
Yeah. I mean, I actually enjoy their dynamic a lot. I mean, let's be real. That's the reason why most people watch it, right? But the thing is that it's the solar system isn't all about them. Mandalorian does come from a community of Mandalorians, so how does he fit into that dynamic? How is Grogu going to fit into that dynamic? And you kind of have to, know that by knowing the story. Yeah. Plus I think old girl's going to get a spinoff anyway, so
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. Because she was a big part in Star Wars Rebels, and they brought her in here. I could see them doing a Bo-Katan spinoff. Yeah, absolutely. Phenom, what are your thoughts about them not focusing much on Mando and Grogu that much this season?
I'm just waiting. I mean, this is what, third season, and Grogu ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ain't flipping nobody with the Force or none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how many more seasons this is going to last without.
Yeah.
I mean, this episode was a great episode, and I think it was probably one of the better episodes because of the action in it. So it really didn't need Grogu and Din Djarin that as much. When you bring all the Mandalorians together, like I said, when they start using their jetpacks, it was beautiful to watch. That's what I came to watch, like that kind of action.
Yeah, I think you guys make a really good point. The Mandalorian, like, it doesn't say it's the Din Djarin journey. It didn't say it's the Din Djarin story. It just says the Mandalorian. So that really could be anybody. And I like the fact that we did focus on this particular Mandalorian in the first 2 seasons, but I think because it's called the Mandalorian, he is part of a bigger world than just him. So I've been okay with the fact that they've been exploring outside of the Mandalorian, because this episode is a prime example of that. They barely were in this episode, and this episode was fantastic because it was about the Mandalorians and all they were doing. I mean, like, let's go right into this scene. Damn, they get downstairs, they're in the forge, and all of a sudden they hear these jetpacks. Din Djarin probably has one of the few lines in this whole series that said jetpacks. You look up and it's the Empire, like, on jetpacks. This whole scene I thought was amazing. The action was fantastic from beginning to end, all the way up until we see my man make his guest appearance. What did you guys think about this action scene from beginning to end? I mean, Phoenix, I'm going to let you jump in because I know you were already talking about the jetpacks and how they were used. What do you think about all this action that was happening here?
It was beautiful all the way around because the Mandalorians realized they couldn't penetrate their armor like that. Like, oh, hold up. They got some special type of armor on. And I didn't know because they were clones. I didn't know if they were like people clones or machine clones. You know what I'm saying? The stormtroopers.
My understanding is that they're people clones.
They're people, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
they're people.
The fighting was great. The action, I mean, it wasn't one-sided. Moff Gideon, he set the trap for him, ignored him. That was a big get right there.
Yeah. I just had a feeling the whole time that they were leading them to something. That's what I felt the whole time when they was like, oh, they're running, let's go after them. I was like, oh shit, something about to happen. That's what I felt. Yeah. Qola, what are your whole thoughts about all this action scene leading up to the finally big reveal of Moff Gideon said, I got you, bitch.
See, once again, the man is playing chess. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about their armor. It's the steel that you can only get on Mandalore. Yep. The jetpacks, that's like signature to the Mandalorians. That's why when they saw them, they were like, oh, it's more Mandalorians. They survived. And it was like, oh, like you said, got you, bitch. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's, it's the dark side or whatever they are, but and if you think back, there was another episode where that security guy, the Asian guy with the beard, they find that ship and they said, oh, Mandalorians were the ones that took over that. And I was sitting there thinking, like, that doesn't sound right. Like, why would they attack a ship? Like, they're not known for that type of, behavior. And now we know what actually happened. It's like, yes, the remnants or whatever, the steel is from there, the weapons that they use are probably from there or whatever, but it's because Moff Gideon confiscated all that. And now they kind of set them up in the eyes of the New Republic or whatever to thinking like the Mandalorians are trying to go rogue. You know what I'm saying?
Like, good point.
That's a good point right there.
So he's definitely playing chess. He's playing chess so good. And let's go ahead and get into it. The big reveal and Paz Vizsla, unfortunately, he has to go, but let's get to it. Moff Gideon playing chess. He reveals himself like, I'm the head of all of this. I got you. I got all of you guys. Yeah, I'm head of all of this. I've got you. And I mean, like, did at this particular point, I was literally getting nervous because I was like, we got all the prime players here. Somebody's not going to make it. And I was like, damn, he set a big booby trap for them. Let's go around. I mean, Phoenix, before we end this episode, this review here, let's go around. What were your whole thoughts when Moff Gideon showed up and he's saying, I got y'all, go ahead and kill everybody. And then my man Paz Vizsla makes the sacrifice that we probably didn't see coming. Did anybody see that sacrifice coming from Paz Vizsla? Phoenix, I'll go to you first.
All right. So Moff Gideon is a G, but he talks too much. I don't like, they go to the Dr. Evil School of Evil, yo. You know what I'm saying? Playing with their food, divulging their plans, and then like, oh, so you letting the enemy know what your plans are, so they
right
what's going on, how to stop it. But Din Djarin got caught. That's the one who he really wanted because he got him captured the first time.
Yeah.
With Paz Vizsla dying, dog, they got to do better. He had the big gun.
Yeah.
You can't let the big gun die, yo.
I know. I was shocked at that. I was shocked. Did y'all realize that the folks that killed him were the guards that were in The Last Jedi that were fighting against Rey and Kylo Ren when they were in the Snoke's room? So I freaked out. I geeked out when I saw that part. Like, oh, shit, those are the guards.
The visuals was crazy.
Yeah, those amazing. They were amazing. They was amazing. Qola, what was your whole thought? Moff Gideon shows up. He surprises him. And, of course, Din Djarin gets captured and Paz Vizsla goes down by the hand of those guards. What were your whole thoughts about that?
I had a feeling somebody had to go.
Yeah.
Somebody had to go. I mean, I didn't know exactly who was going to be, but, like as soon as he said, you guys go, I was like, yeah, it's you. Okay. Yeah. But I mean, shout out to him because he got hit. I don't know how many times with those doggone lasers,
Yeah.
And it just was not hitting. So whoever came up with that armor did a great job because
he went out like a boss.
Yeah, he did. He went out with like a G for real. So
So were you guys shocked when you saw those guards show up? You had no idea who those guards were because they really brutally killed him. I was kind of shocked that they killed him the way that they did on a Disney Plus. I mean, they were like sticking them things all down at him. I was like, this is a little. Bit much.
Disney has like what PG? They got R-rated stuff on Disney now. So, but think about this. I'm gonna harken back to a show I used to watch religiously, Sons of Anarchy. So in Sons of Anarchy, there was this character named Opie. I'm pretty sure people who watch this probably watch Sons of Anarchy too. And he was in a motorcycle gang, and he was behind, like his friends were behind the glass watching him die because he got beat up in jail. And that's how they jumped him. This is the same feeling I got because I like Paz Vizsla.
Yeah.
He was a G. He was a soldier. He was loyal.
Yeah. Loyal to a fault. Yeah.
When he died, I was like,
man. Yeah, I know. That was tough. That was tough. Do you think they're going to rescue, before we wrap this up, do you think they're going to rescue Din Djarin the next episode, or it's going to be open-ended? This is the last episode of this particular season. Any theories or any thoughts that you got? Yeah,
I thought this was only episode 7.
It's only 8 episodes, only 8. So this is the finale is next.
Oh, okay. All right.
Coming up. Yeah. So this coming up episode is the last episode. Any theories you think? Do you think those folks out in space got bum rushed? Do you think the armor is behind it all? Or do you think they're going to rescue Din Djarin? Or, I mean, what do you think? Any theories you think is probably going to happen in the next episode? Nope.
They're going to rescue him.
Okay. I think they're going to rescue Din Djarin.
I don't know why Moff Gideon wants to keep him alive.
Yeah. The only thing I can see Moff Gideon wants to keep him alive is to try to get Grogu to come there. So he could possibly do more cloning, because that was the whole reason the first time with Grogu. So that's the only thing I could see, is trying to keep him hostage so that Grogu can make its way there, and then he can get Grogu back. So now he's got the armor and he's got the cloning. And like he said, I'm going to do everything I can to rule this galaxy. Do you think Moff Gideon is going to die this episode? This next episode.
Evil never dies.
Evil never dies. You're right. He got 9 lives, baby.
Right. And he hasn't even used one yet. He's good.
True. Yeah. I don't think he's going to die either. I think they're going to have him, Din Djarin or the Mandalorian, Grogu, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka. I think all of these folks are going to be in a movie. I think it's going to be almost like this Avengers type Star Wars movie that they're leading to. Because now we have Jon Favreau, who has been the director of Marvel. He knows how to do this. And then you got Dave Filoni, who did the Clone Wars on animated series. Those two guys together, I think they are putting a roadmap for this Avengers type spectacle in a movie. But they're using these series to lay it out, because we have the Ahsoka series coming this year, and I think the Ahsoka series is going to tie in with this, and we're going to have this big event in the movies probably in the next couple of years. That's my theory.
Well, I can't debate.
Well, all I know is that if they keep doing this, Grogu needs to start talking. He needs to start doing magic.
He needs to use the Force, yo.
Exactly. He needs to start doing something.
I agree. He does he does need to do something. Either start wearing some Mandalorian armor, get trained, shoot somebody. Do something, it's got
like he did way more in the first season,
He did.
So
he did.
I mean, he's losing his appeal, in my opinion. It's just like he was a novelty when he came out. Now he's
I need Yoda vibes.
Yeah, I get that. All right. Well, look, we were going to end this. We're coming to the final minutes of this review. Last words. Give it a score out of 10 on this episode. Qola, what's your score?
I'll say an 8.
All right, Phoenix, what's your score?
8.5. Visuals is crazy.
Yeah, I give it an 8.5 too. Damn near maybe a 9 for real. That was just that good. But other than that, it probably is a 9 only because Grogu didn't do anything. It was no use having Grogu there, but I still love him regardless. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and just going along with this review. As always, this is Phenom 202. Qola, please give a shout out on how they can find you before we wrap this up.
Coca-Cola on Instagram, QOKA_QOLA. Again, bringing that big auntie energy.
All right, that's what's up. And look, everybody, we're going to be back here. We're going to do some more reviews. Phoenix, we're going to come back here and talk about some John Wick and some other movies. And we're going to see if Qola can come with us too. So we're going to do it all, do all that we can. Other than that, Phenom, any last words before we roll out?
Nah, great show, man.
All right, that's what's up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll be back here with another review. Bye.
Yep.